I jumped on early because they started a hype train in the wait, which just ended right here. We already went up to level 2 hype train out of nowhere. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the giveaway. Create and start.
Ooh.
Hit exclamation point dibs in the chat, or ticket or whatever. And pretty much anybody who does it, I think, tonight will get one. So, yeah. Already got 3 in there. All right.
Nice. We're giving away stickers.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
There's yours. Isn't it beautiful?
That's a good sticker. Where do you get these stickers? They're good.
Sticker Mule.
Shout out Sticker Mule, son.
They are good. The other good thing about them is that they're easy to remove. They don't like adhere to where it's like impossible to remove off your car, your laptop, or whatever. You spin it nice.
They're thick.
They're thick boys.
Thick.
You can't fake this thickness. All right. How are you, John?
I'm tired.
Baby squared away?
Yeah. Threw some cedar chips down in the playpen and.
Bro, I already put the sticker up for like a solid 2 minutes. There you go.
Already showed them.
You can't fake this meat. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sticker.
Get the meat castle.
Get this meat castle.
I'm just gonna warn you, my Stone Cold sucks.
Your Stone Cold
Sucks.
impression?
Yeah.
It's not my best one either.
It's bad.
But we're gonna give it our best shot. I like my
Go see my belly. See that power belly.
I like my my choice in rant
Yeah.
to use, but
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
it's hard to keep it up. It's hard to keep it up and not just slip into just generic Texan. You know?
Yeah. I actually have it's a southern, like it's a East Texan Forrest Gump is really what it is. Let me tell you something, brother.
All right, I'm going to silence my phone.
I thought that Power Belly was something Otis came up with, Gabigan, but that was there's actually a powerlifting brand
Called Power Belly?
That's one of the shirts they sell. It says Power Belly.
Power Belly. Is anybody else seeing a frozen alert on the screen up in John's box?
Just let it go.
Because if you're not seeing it, then it's fine. But I'm seeing a frozen alert halfway through.
It's up there.
Yes, you're seeing it. Okay, I'm going to reload my overlays here. See if that takes care of it. Okay. All right. Hopefully that fixed it. All right. We're going to start recording.
I don't have my intro.
We haven't done an intro for the last 3 times, and I've had to come up with one on the fly at home.
No, I haven't done I don't have my
okay.
my opener.
Well, we haven't done our podcast intro.
Yes.
So I'm glad you said something at least about that to remind me of it, because we need to come up with that. Maybe not on stream, but before you leave. It's gonky.
I had one.
Gonkney. Well, doesn't it have to be Stone Cold themed?
Well, yeah, but I don't have any glass to break. I was gonna do that too. I was gonna bring in just shatter something against the wall. I'm coming up with a plan.
Just start with Austin 316 says. Just make it simple.
All right.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do that or me? Word sneak. We got to put in belly somewhere.
Belly.
Without making it obvious.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I think I can do it.
Okay.
Like just at some point during the podcast.
The sooner the better,
Okay.
so we don't forget about it.
Okay. Okay.
It's got to sound natural. This will be your first one, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Austin 316 may be inappropriate, but this podcast sure as heck isn't. Welcome, everybody, to the Two Words Podcast. My name is John.
Couple extra S's there.
Couple of extra S's. My name is John. His name is Matt. How's everybody doing?
I mean, if I'm everybody, I'm doing good. Dude, what is happening to 2021? It is nearly over.
And yet, it's only just begun.
Like
really.
yesterday was Halloween, and it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. I mean, what's going on?
Man.
Like,
But aren't you excited for Thanksgiving?
No.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving meal portion? What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Are we? You mean the specific item?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's an item that nobody knows, which is just like a Vassar thing. Vassar family, which
Obviously, they're so crazy.
Armenian rice. That's my favorite. But if we're talking about a traditional Thanksgiving food, I'm probably a roll man. I gorge myself on rolls.
Rolls are great.
Mm-hmm. I don't care what kind. Hawaiian rolls. Those
I love sweet potatoes.
Little chef hat rolls.
I could eat an entire box of stovetop stuffing by myself.
I've
Like,
never been able to get
in
into
my
stuffing.
belly, make it happen.
No, stuffing's gross.
No,
Stuffing looks
it's
like
there.
bird vomit.
You look like Barney Vomit. Well, today we have a fun episode because it's our last episode of the season.
Season 2 finale.
Season 2 finale.
Already?
And we're going out with a bang because we're talking about the Texas Rattlesnake, the mud hole stomping son of a gun from Texas. I didn't know where we were going. I lost my train of thought.
I started that very enthusiastic intro without a place to go.
We're talking about none other than the bottom line, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because I love Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh gosh, my first favorite wrestler. Like
Yeah.
he was just hitting that stride with the Vince McMahon arc as I started watching the show. So like this was the first story I was heavily invested in.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show. But first, we have some news to get out the ways.
Wrestling news and rumors.
Such as Kobe Covington, who challenged Kamaru Usman for the welterweight championship at UFC 268.
Okay, I was like, I don't recognize any of these names. Like what obscure promotion are you?
He was
on?
asked
God.
if he was going to join the former American top team partners in All Elite Wrestling, and he said, "I don't pay any attention to what those losers do. I'm focused on putting the biggest and best fights in the world. You might see me in WWE one day, but I don't think you're going to see me in a second tier promotion like AEW."
Okay,
This is
isn't
like
this
the what's her
second-
name? Yeah,
This is just. Does it seem like they're actually building some sort of weird UFC AEW feud?
Well, and here's the thing is like that's what Kobe Covington does. Like Kobe Covington has put together this character that he does in the UFC, and he's like a hardcore Trump supporter. He's always wearing MAGA hats. Like it's and he seems to only fight Hispanic dudes and like guys from Africa.
I can see why he'd be going with WWE then.
And so he's just all about it. But then they ask him about it and he's like, nah, it's just a thing I do to get heat.
Just to get clicks.
But yeah, it's always funny when you use terms like, I don't pay attention to what losers do.
They're losers. They're a
They're
bottom
losers.
tier promotion. I'm uninterested. A lot of people say that. Maybe I don't say that. You know, I don't really know them personally, but I hear a lot of things from a lot of people about how they're not that great.
Some people say that AEW is not big enough, and I just have to say, hey, size is not an issue.
Some say they pull their punches. I don't really know. You know, I can't confirm it or deny it, but so the people are talking. The people are talking. And, I'm listening.
I love us.
Oh Oh, man.
What's good in your world?
Kenny Omega. Well, this isn't good. Kenny Omega is out for a while. He's hoping to return in February, but he's in need of several surgeries, including shoulder surgery. So he's bruised up. He's done been beat up a bit, and he gonna be gone. He gonna be off the TV for a little while.
Yeah. That's
Told
okay.
the Young Bucks to hold it down. Hold it down.
He's been champion for a long time.
He's
so.
I mean, it's his run's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the promotion. So,
But I'm also very excited for Adam Page. For Hangman.
absolutely, Hangman
I love Hangman.
deserves it.
Great.
I'm all for it.
I love him and the Dark Order together.
And their weird relationship.
And they're just being weird. Apparently, people have emailed the WWE directly and have wanted to get Big E Langston off TV
What?
because he gyrates his hips a little too much.
Heck no, man.
People are allowing
about
me
it.
to do this, so I just kept doing stuff,
Doing
and
it
people
right now.
and people enjoy it or didn't yell at me. So I was like, let's keep it going.
The only thing that he does that makes me uncomfortable is occasionally when he jumps up on the rope and does the splits
Yeah.
and then gyrates.
Yeah.
That's a little much. There's too many bulges.
He said,
In
"There's
that case.
it's me and Elvis Presley, so there's really no difference there."
Let the man dance. Let him dance. Tommaso Ciampa doesn't believe he fits in with the vision of NXT 2.0. He does not feel like he belongs anymore.
I would say that's probably correct.
I feel like he and Adam Cole both had the feel, the black and gold feel,
Yeah.
like the exact feel that they were going for. And when they've changed it to this new promotion version
My name's Tommaso Ciampa, and you're watching NXT.
on Disney Plus, wand. Also, Randy Orton is going to break a record this Sunday.
What's that?
It's going to be for most pay-per-view matches in WWE. He's currently tied with Kane at 176 pay-per-view matches, and he'll get his 177th this Sunday.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Also, he was kind of upset that he didn't get to ride a camel in Saudi Arabia. He's all, Riddle got to ride a camel, but Vince looked at me and said, Randy Orton doesn't ride camels.
Randy Orton does not ride camels. That's perfect. No. It's like, I've got this camel, man.
Do you know who you are?
Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder,
Zacky Ryder.
recently said that the Hype Bros was a career low. He hated it.
Really?
Said he loves Mojo Rawley.
Oh.
Said he loved Mojo Rawley, but he hated the Hype Bros.
I mean, I know it didn't really go anywhere, but I loved it. I wanted it to be something. That makes me sad.
I think it just has a lot to do with it was leaning too much into his bro stuff. Because you'll notice, like, once he left WWE, he kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And he went straight into death matches.
It's true. That's true.
So-
But he seems like such a hype bro
Yeah.
all the time.
It seems like something he would do.
It makes me sad. Jeff Hardy is considering pitching his Willow character to fill the void of The Fiend
Okay.
in WWE. He's also considering pitching a Bob Ross-like character.
Please and thank you. I don't think I have to tell you which one I want. That was the beauty of the Fiend character, though, is he could do both. You know.
Could give you that warm fuzzy.
What would that even look like? I don't have the capacity to picture that. I don't know.
You have anything else?
Rest in peace, Angel Garza's last name.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He has fallen victim to the slashing of the last names.
The latest
He joins
name
a club filled with Mustafa and Biggie.
No, they've been calling Mustafa by his last name lately.
He got it back, though. Yeah, he got it back. Originally, they were just calling him Ali for a while.
That's true.
Which is dumb.
And then I think Big E was the right choice, though.
Yeah.
Big E Langston is too much. Big E is the perfect name.
Biggie.
But it's like when you've been known, like, and he hadn't really been established as a big main event guy yet either, or a big main event tag team. But when you've been known as a character, as your full name for ever, like Matt Riddle, to suddenly not have your first name is weird.
Yeah. Biggie tweeted at him and was like, "Welcome to the club. We meet Wednesdays." Get a hold of Drew Gulak to know what you need to bring. Is that it you got?
Last one I have is NXT 2.0 and AEW Rampage are seeing some of their lowest ratings since launch.
Yeah, it's fall.
Is it just that it's fall, or is it that
is.
nobody cares? I mean, even Rampage was great to start off with, but it's slowly been morphing into this is the B show.
This is NXT.
Right. This is nobody.
Yeah.
Nothing big is happening. They push a big thing every now and then just to jab at SmackDown.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
yeah, I don't know. It's just that I just don't have enough time to watch all 15 hours of wrestling that takes place during the week. Like, I just don't. And it's almost like some weeks I just don't watch at all because it's so overwhelming. It's kind of like when you walk into your kitchen's so dirty, you're like, I don't know what. I'm just walking away from this. I'm not even going to start. I don't know where to start. I'm not going to start. Well, lastly, Mark Henry revealed that he talked to Vince before leaving the company and said, hey, I want a shot at doing this commentary thing. I have a lot to offer. I need to show some people that I can do it. And Vince McMahon was very supportive about that. It was like, I fully believe that you're going to run away with it. I fully believe that it's going to be great. I'll see you in 3 years. So we may get Mark Henry back in the WWE.
Okay.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
A little announce table. Do a little training center. It'll be great. Well, that's it for us. When we come back, we're going to be reading the Bible, some stone cold scripture. Keep it here.
You didn't do belly.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Where'd you do it?
When we were talking about Thanksgiving. I said stuffing can get in my belly.
You did say it. You did it so well.
I'm very good.
It snuck in so well. I didn't even hear it.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm very good.
Wow. All right. So
you have so many questions.
She doesn't watch wrestling. So
well, yeah.
Occasionally when she watches us, she just doesn't know what the heck we're talking about.
I don't know it, but I love it.
Well, this is John's first sneak, and he did a great job. Sounded so natural. She made me do kumquat once.
I saw a deal. Somebody, this like radio host was challenging people to get him to like sneak in words.
Yeah.
And like somebody got him to sneak in the F word. And he's like, I might get fired for this, but we're going to give it a shot. And he was doing like one of his promos and he somehow like combined the
end of one word with the beginning of another. Yeah. That was dangerous.
That's dangerous. You got to write that stuff out.
I did make it. Yep. Soon after someone named. Yeah. And so we thought it was you. We thought you had a burner account.
Curious, come on.
All right. It's time for impressions.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to go first then, since yours is worse.
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Leave him happy? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's rude. I apologize.
That's true, though.
Oh, hey, wait. Before we do that, I don't know if anyone new has joined us, but if you have and you want a sticker, hit exclamation point dibs in that chat.
Call some of them dibs. Call some of them dibs.
We got 4 of the 10 that we have claimed. So
Don't be suspicious.
Let's go. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
All right, here we go.
Welcome back to the Two Words Podcast, where today our 2 words are stone cold, because we're talking about the Texas Rattlesnake today. That's all we're talking about, because he's worthy enough to devote an entire episode to. And we know how much you guys love our impressions.
I mean, it's
We love doing them.
the most requested thing.
Is it really?
Well, it's the only requested thing we've gotten, so I would assume, yeah. And that was one person who's like, "Hey, do some more of them impressions."
When we did our pilot show, we did some impressions.
We did,
and our fearless leader Bubba Stallcup was like, "I was really worried when you said impressions."
And then
I got really scared.
And then he heard it, and he's like, "You could do that every week,
You should do it all the time.
but we have not, for your sake.
We just can't.
A couple times a season. That's
Yeah.
about as much as we'll cop to."
So, with our impressions, we like to have a little bit of fun. We like to read some scripture, do a little ranting, combine our love of Jesus with our love of professional wrestling, and meld them together and make them beautiful. And so we're going to be doing that today with some stone cold impressions. Now, I'm going to warn you, they're not good. They're fun. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a great bit. But nobody come at me being like, "Oh, your stone cold sucks." Because, like, I know it sucks.
Admittedly.
Like, I'll admit it. It's not great. So I will go first. Last time I did Macho Man, or Macho Jesus confronting the fig tree.
That's right.
And I'm just going to pick up right there in Mark 11 when Jesus goes into the temple.
Okay.
Where they're selling goods.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, that's the bottom line. Okay, we're good. See, we're good. I just have to make sure we're getting into it. And the bottom line.
That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad. Maybe it's better than I thought. I don't know. So there we are, coming after the weird incident with the fig tree, and Jesus walks us straight into Jerusalem, walks right into that temple where they're selling their junk. What? Their crap. What? Their tchotchkes. What? Useless junk. And he walks up to him, and he starts throwing stuff all over the place, raising all sorts of cane. That's right, he's chasing people with whips. He's flipping tables. He's causing a riot. People are asking him by what authority he's doing that. Who gave him that authority? And Jesus said, "You know whose house this is? This is my house. This is the authority that I have. You come here, this is a temple of prayer, not someplace you can sell your doves at." They started talking amongst themselves, the Pharisees, the guys that pushed their Psalms and their John 3:16s, and that confused them even more because they hadn't even heard of the book of John. It's just the Torah's out. But Jesus said, "I don't answer to you." Jesus said, when John was baptized and the heavens opened up, who I'm sorry. Tell me by what authority that happened. And they didn't know. And Jesus said, "Well, I don't answer to you neither." And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold Jesus said so. Give me a heck yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, John. It was a good impression, but it was very monotone. You stuck with that same.
I mean, that's the only tone I have.
It wasn't bad.
That's the only tone I have.
All right. That was not bad.
Selling their crap. What?
Their tchotchkes.
What?
Okay. We
haven't what enough in this podcast.
We don't what a lot. I don't like the what.
You don't like the what?
What? No, I don't. It's the worst thing he's ever done. It is the worst thing Stone Cold has ever inflicted on the WWE. The what chant?
Love it.
All right, so mine is I am putting Stone Cold in Paul's place.
Okay.
In the letter to the Corinthians. This is
I've heard of it.
A retelling of 1 Corinthians 3, 1 through 23. And yeah, again, Stone Cold is Paul. And Apollos is the Rock.
Okay.
In this story. So
okay.
Enjoy. You won't hear the Rock, but you'll hear tell of him. Sorry. Now listen here, sons. You got me hot. You got me a little frustrated. You're sitting here crying and whining like babies when it comes to Christ. Good for nothing more than sucking at a breast. Well, since you don't seem capable of anything more than that, looks like I'm going to have to open up a can of you-know-what and bottle feed you myself. And you're sitting there picking sides. I'm following Stone Cold. I did it for The Rock. Why, why? It's obvious you don't even know who Stone Cold is. You don't know The Rock. Both of us are out here doing what we were sent here to do. Stomping mud holes in some demon backsides and walking it dry. Now I came here to raise some heck. The Rock came here to lay the smack down, but God's the one who whooped your butts into shape. But since you're looking at me like you're dumber than a bag of hammers, let me put it another way. You're in God's ring. Now Rock and I might have done some promos. What? Set the merch. What? Hype the fight. What? Plan the moves. What? And put on the greatest dang show on God's green earth. But none of it, not one god dang punch or stunner would have happened without the foundation of God's ring. Now, by now, I hope you realize that you are the arena of God, and God Himself is the sole promoter within you. And no one is going to get away with hopping the barricades and rushing God's ring. You can be dang sure of that. DTY. Don't trust yourself to get over in this world just because you think you know the trades backwards and forwards. Trust God, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. What? My throat. Need some throat coat. Oh,
these are so much fun.
They really are.
Who should we do next?
It's hard to find the good ones. We're using a lot of the good ones up really fast.
Yeah. Well,
Macho Man is good. Stone Cold's good. I can do a decent Rock, a decent Undertaker if it's cold season.
if I've got the flu, I can do.
If it's really early in the morning. Okay, I'm not going to be able to talk the rest of the show.
Well, that's fun. Well, we hope y'all enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed doing it for you. But when we come back, we're talking all about the Stone Cold Steve Austin. Keep it here.
The Stone Cold
The Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, man. Okay. Once again, not hashtag, exclamation point dibs in the chat if you want a sticker. We still got several left. All right. Gracious sakes. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me
go.
And welcome back to the Two Words Podcast, where we're talking today all about Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've made it kind of, I guess, now makes it a tradition.
Technically,
that
yeah.
the end of every season, because this is our last episode until January or whenever I'm told to come back.
February, I think. First week of February. First or second week of February.
And so we're talking about our favorite wrestlers. We dedicated an entire episode. Last time we did the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Macho Man.
And today we are talking about Stone Cold because, to be completely honest, if you were a young boy in the 90s, whether you watched wrestling or not, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the coolest human alive.
Yeah, he transcended wrestling.
Yeah.
For sure. He was everywhere. He was all over the place when he got super popular.
So I guess the question is, what made Stone Cold better than everybody else? I mean, what made him transcendent?
I think the main thing that he had going for him was that he wasn't a fake wrestling persona. Even at the beginning of that A&E documentary that he did, that biography, the first question they asked him is, what's the difference between Stone Cold Steve Austin and real Steve Austin? Or Steve Williams, I guess is technically his name. Did he change it?
He legally changed his name
I
from
thought so,
Steve
yeah.
Anderson. I believe it was Anderson.
It was Williams. I know that much. But he said, I don't even know what the difference is, really. And that's all he said.
I think he said it was just an amplified. It's just an
amplified version of him. There's not really a difference.
Amplified version of it. I think what draws most people to watch Stone Cold is that, like, everybody wanted to be that guy. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody wanted to flip their middle finger to their boss in the 90s. Everybody wanted to fill their boss's car with concrete. Everybody wanted a beer truck. Like, that was...
Everyone wants to drive a Zamboni.
That was just who it was. And he was saying all of the things that we wish we could have said to our bosses. But then he would get in the ring and he would put on these really, really great matches.
He's very physically capable. Always has been, really. Like, he started off in middle school in football.
Yeah.
To a 205-pound running back.
It's a meaty boy.
Big running back. He said he was too slow to run to the left or the right, so he could only run right down the middle. But that was all right because he could just plow through everybody.
People.
But he would focus on staying fit, living responsibly. He wasn't a party guy drinking or whatever when he was a teenager. He wasn't raising all kinds of heck back then. He was the guy that was yelling at his older brother and his friends to shut up so he could go to sleep because he's got football practice in the morning.
Man. Yeah, and if you really think about it, something I didn't realize, I was watching some stuff on the YouTubes. His first WWE championship was won at WrestleMania 14. His last match was at WrestleMania 19.
Yeah, it was a very short
5-year. I mean, he had other stuff before all of that, but it was a relatively short run.
Relatively short, like, spotlight. When you consider like Roman Reigns, how long has Roman Reigns been near the top of the chart here? It feels like over a decade, and I'm pretty sure it's close to that. Yeah, really, Stone Cold's run is very short. I remember going back and watching through some of the Raws when WWE Network came out, and I'm watching the rise right at a start at WrestleMania 14, and I continue on from there, and I get like a week or two into it, and I'm like, hey, wow, we're already at this part. Yeah, this is going really fast. And it took. It was like less than 100 Raws, and you're done with the storyline. Yeah, I'm like, that's sad. I mean, I want so much more.
Yeah, but like the ability to compact that much and make it, because it feels like he was on top for 20 years.
Oh yeah, he made such a big impression in the industry, and I think that tied in with the fact that the Attitude Era was also being kicked off as he was rising to prominence, and so he became the attitude of the Attitude Era. Now DC Talk, DX had its portion of that as well, and then The Rock, of course, would come along, but really what kicked it off was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He had that he developed that character rather from ECW. Yeah, which he really didn't do much in.
He did not wrestle a single match in ECW.
He did what was essentially the first pipe bomb situation. Like, he would come on ECW after he got fired by Eric Bischoff and just rant. And Paul Heyman just said, yeah, say whatever you want. Go nuts. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did. And he developed this kind of anti-authority, working man, fighting back against the boss kind of mentality. Yeah. And that's what brought, JR recruited him into WCW. And then after that, he had moved to WWE and then saw what was going on in ECW with Steve Austin and brought him over as well.
They always ask Eric Bischoff, like, if he regrets firing Steve, and he's like, Steve wouldn't have become who he was if he'd have stayed in WCW.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
It just wouldn't happen because he was doing the Hollywood Blondes then. One of the funniest videos you can see from the Hollywood Blondes is they announce him from Hollywood, Florida, or Hollywood, California. It's one of the two.
No, I don't think that happened with that. That happened with Ringmaster. Or no. Stunning Steve Austin. It was
Steve
before
Austin.
he was. So yeah, I guess they did, but
It was
that happened
around that time.
before the Hollywood Blonde started.
And
like
they
that
said he
his
was
first
from
thing.
like Hollywood, California, and he turned around and yelled at somebody. He's like, "I'm from Texas."
What am I gonna do with my accent?
Can't tell people I'm from California.
I really think it's funny though that he came out of Stunning Steve Austin. You think of who he became and who he is known as, and you think about him with long bleach blonde hair and a red robe with sequins all over it. Yeah, and it just doesn't sound right.
But he made that work too. He really did.
Yeah, he was good in every aspect, but it wasn't a draw.
Yeah.
Like he was good as a wrestler of that era, but that era was coming to an end. And most people were still fighting that in the industry. The idea of like the superhero, the pretty boy, all that in the wrestling industry was coming to a close. And WCW did see that happening. And I think, honestly, they thought that Steve Austin wouldn't be able to pull that off, the transition to the new era.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the facts. I mean, he's Stunning Steve Austin. He wears sequin robes to, he's in the Hollywood Blondes. He's not going to.
He's a Ric Flair ripoff.
Yeah, he's a beefier Ric Flair. that's not gonna fly with NWO coming in and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I also love the fact that his big push was a fluke.
Yeah.
Because he got his big push because he won King of the Ring.
Which he was not supposed to win.
Which he was not supposed to win. And the only reason he won it is because they had to punish Triple H. And he was going to be the original winner. Yeah. But Triple H and HBK had just taken part of the curtain call, which was that breaking the
fourth
kayfabe.
Fabe.
To basically give a big old group hug to their Clique members, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, who were leaving to go to WCW. And a fan happened to catch it on camera. And if you've been in the wrestling industry long enough, you've seen that footage of them all hugging in the ring. Well, someone had to get punished for that. And they couldn't punish Nash and Hall because they were gone. They weren't going to punish HBK because he was, championship arena. Was he the champion?
He was leaving because he was about to be. He had injured himself.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so he was
leaving.
But yeah, so it wasn't. So they punished Triple H.
The exact words were, I think you're going to have to learn to eat crap and learn to like it.
And so
she did.
Yeah, so Stone Cold goes to win this, and there's two matches that he has to do in the paper because that's how they would end King of the Ring. They would have the finals. Or the quarterfinal, or the semi, whatever. What's the next level before the championship?
It's the semifinals.
Semifinals and then the finals,
and
right? Okay, so they had the two semifinal matches and then the final match on that pay-per-view. So it would usually start off with the two semifinals. And so he's in a match with, let's see, who was he fighting? He was in a match, Mark Marrow. He was in a match with Mark Marrow, and Mark Marrow accidentally kicked him in the mouth in that match and busted his lip open. And so he had to be rushed to the hospital. They put 14 stitches in his mouth, and he made it back just in time to go and wrestle his championship match, or not championship match, but finals match for King of the Ring against Jake the Snake Roberts, who was doing a whole Bible thumping gimmick. The doctors told him, no, you can't wrestle, but he's like, well, I'm gonna, and he did. And he went out there, and Michael Hayes came up to him as he was heading out of the ring. He said, what's catch me up to speed kind of thing. And Michael said, yeah, Jake the Snake just did a promo, and he was talking about, how God brought him here, and, the whole religious spiel and everything. And so they go out and they have the match. Stone Cold wins. And that's when he just on the fly came up with the Austin 3:16. You talk about your Psalms, you talk about your John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, "I just whooped your butt." And then he ended that promo with, "And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so." Two things that he'd never said before.
Yeah.
At his big push win, three things combined right there sent him to the stratosphere.
To the top.
All because Triple H had to hug Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
It's the most expensive hug you've ever given.
But had that not happened, had the curtain call incident not happened, Stone Cold might not have ever made it up there because Vince McMahon was not all that thrilled with Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He brought him in as the ringmaster. Stone Cold needed money, so he didn't fight that title. He's like, all right, I'm the ringmaster, whatever, I'll make it work. Master of the ring. They didn't push him all that well. Nothing stuck. Nothing was making anything good. So he said, "Let me change my name." And he had been watching the Iceman tapes on TV, and he said, "I want something, something ice related." And so he sent that to creative, and they gave him 3 pages of possible names. Some of which were
Victor
Fang McFrost, Snowman, Otto Von Ruthless, Mr. Freeze, Ice Dagger, Cruel Luke, Cool Cat, and Chili McFreeze. And as Mick Foley said, like, even if you had everything else that went right for Stone Cold, if his name is Chili McFreeze, we're not talking about the same guy.
Yeah. I love Michael Hayes' reaction to that whole promo because the entire time he's looking around like, are we about to get shut down? He's looking around like, is he really saying these things?
And I'm thinking back as hard as I can. And I don't really recall there ever really being all that much backlash from the religious community about the Austin 3:16 thing.
No.
In fact, he even talks about at one point he was in an airport and like a whole group of priests came up to him and asked him for his autograph. And he said, "Oh, I thought y'all were coming over here to yell at me over the Austin 3:16 thing." He said, "Oh, no, we love it. It's fine."
It's fun. It's fun. But you really think, like, you talk about none of that would have happened had they not had the famous curtain call. And like, but if you don't have that moment, you don't have any of the Attitude Era.
Almost certainly.
You don't really have DX. You don't have any of this other stuff. And WCW wins the Monday Night Wars.
Almost certainly. Because I bet they would have pushed Triple H apart from
Hurst Helmsley.
Yeah, apart from Shawn Michaels, as opposed to what wound up happening. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think it all falls apart without that curtain. They really should be thanking them for the curtain call incident.
Really should be. Well, some Stone Cold facts.
Let's do it.
Some Stone Cold facts. Originally born Steve Anderson, he did change his name legally to
Anderson. It's Steve Williams.
I'm pretty sure it's Anderson
because he goes to his first match in Memphis and he introduces himself as Steve Williams. And I said, "Well, you can't be Steve Williams because we already have a Steve Williams, Dr. Death. So you got 15 minutes to come up with a new name." And he couldn't come up with anything. So the promoter said, "All right, you're Steve Austin," because he was from Austin.
Stephen James Anderson.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Well, why wasn't that in his biography?
I don't know. Originally born Stephen James Anderson, changed it to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Legally changed it to Steve Austin. Went by many monikers, but my favorite is the Bionic Redneck because the name of the $6 Million Man was Steve Austin. And kids, you can ask your parents about that show and just go.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. We're both kind of right. He was born Stephen James Anderson, but it appears that maybe he was adopted by a stepfather.
Oh.
And it was changed to Stephen James Williams.
Okay. So we can both be right.
I was going to be very confused.
I was so upset.
Like, I did my research, dang it.
when he broke into the wrestling business, Dutch Mantell was running the scene down there, and Steve wasn't very good. He wasn't very compelling in the ring, and so
Not compelling.
Dutch Mantell
Athletic.
made him sit in a chair and watch every single match for a very, very long time. Dutch Mantell, who later became Zeb Coulter, the racist manager for Jack Swagger. So it all comes full circle.
I got one. His first introduction into wrestling, like his first attempt, was Gentleman Chris Adams' 3-day camp at the world famous Sportatorium, at which Mick Foley was also in attendance.
Ooh.
And he was he was active in this arena. And so him and a bunch of the other wrestlers were up watching from the crow's nest at everybody at the wrestling camp. And he believed that Steve was the only one that looked like he had what it took.
Oh. That is
Interesting. Crossing paths.
Stone cold fact about the Sportatorium. It is the world famous Sportatorium that had like 4,000 seats. It was a very, very small arena for being such a legendary place.
I did not know that.
And it's no longer a thing anymore. Came up playing football, was originally a football player, as we mentioned. While he is billed from Victoria, Texas, he was originally from Edna, Texas, which I don't know why they would change either one of those because they're both small, no-name towns. He earned a scholarship to Wharton Junior College, played for 2 years there, and then got a full scholarship to the University of North Texas, where I think he played like a season.
Yeah. He
With
didn't
the
last very
Mean
long.
Green.
Let's see. He was wrestling in WCW as Hollywood Blondes. In Japan, he tore his tricep, but he kept wrestling for 3 more weeks. And then he had to have surgery. He was off for a long time. And that's actually when Eric Bischoff called him and fired him.
That's fun.
So that's fun. That's always the time you want to get fired, right? When you're healing from the injury that you sustained, giving your part of your
Giving your
life
all.
to the company that you were
And they just fire
fighting
you.
for.
And then they go under, but joke's on him because they went under. So give me
those
some
guys aren't
more
even
facts.
around
I don't really have any more facts.
You have any more facts? All right, let's go. Let's see. We talked about a lot of that already.
Yeah, we talked about all this stuff.
So let's see.
The Stone Cold moniker came from his wife had made him
that's
some
right.
soup as he was sitting in a chair.
Tea.
Was it tea?
It was tea.
Yeah, anyway.
Drink your tea
It was a
before it gets
hot. It was a
stone
hot liquid. She said, "You need to drink your tea, or it'll become stone cold." And he's like, "What?
He's like, what?
What?" And she's like, "It'll be stone cold." And he's like, "I like that."
Okay. Match with Owen Hart for the Intercontinental title. Owen did a tombstone pile driver with Steve's head 6 inches too low. And Steve was paralyzed briefly in the ring. He told ref Earl Hebner to tell Owen to roll up for the win. It was the worst roll up in the history of the business, described by
bad
Steve
roll-up.
Austin. He won the title. He got up and walked out with the help of other people on legs he could not feel.
That's fun.
And he didn't actually injure his neck. Like people think that he broke his neck or something, but he just bruised his spinal cord. And even to this day, if it's cold or something, he'll not be able to move his leg correctly.
Yeah.
And that also translated into how the rest of his career went, because this was before he became the big, anti-boss guy, before he was doing the stunner all that much. And so Vince McMahon recalled the leg that he used to kick before he reached in for the stunner was the leg that he couldn't always feel all the way. Mm-hmm. And so he couldn't always tell if he was kicking high enough, because he's supposed to kick you in the gut. But occasionally, he'd kick you a little lower. And he would always apologize, and I'd tell him, you know what? It makes it easier to sell. Just get kicked in the nuts. Like, okay, I can feel this pain.
Just, you do what you got to do.
But yeah, he bruised his spinal cord, and they said if it had been any harder, that he might be a paraplegic for the rest of his life. So, like, he narrowly avoided.
That's fun. That's fun. Well, there are just so many wrestlers that really have Steve Austin to thank. Guys like Tommaso Ciampa, guys like Kevin Owens. I mean, where would Kevin Owens be without Stone Cold Steve Austin, he wouldn't be doing that springboard stunner that he loves so very much, which is a great variation on the stunner.
Yes. But he is quoted as saying, Steve's legacy makes it hard for us to become superstars. It doesn't matter how good we get. There will always be someone who says, pretty good. Not Stone Cold, though. Yeah. So he does admit, as he got on in the business, that his focus was so much on the wrestling business that he became selfish and focused only on himself, which put everything else in the back burner. So he got a divorce, of course. He had a few of those, actually. He never really had a relationship with his two daughters. His ex-wife and daughters went to visit extended family in London, and then 9/11 happened while they were there. And so everyone was afraid to get on a plane, and so they just kind of stayed there. And like he had a really this was, you could see it on the television as well. Things were just starting to shift in his life, and he became so focused on it, like anybody does, you know, when it became an addiction essentially for him, that it wasn't fun anymore. He was angry, bitter, paranoid, untrusting. He bottled stuff up. He was afraid that he'd lose his spot if he took a break. And after his big feud with The Rock went off to Hollywood for his first round of Hollywood business. And there was nobody like at his level anymore. He was like above the top tier. Like there was nobody who could get to that like God tier level.
Yeah.
And so they had nothing for him to do. And they basically called him up and said, hey, you're going to fight Brock Lesnar and lose. There was no build up to the match. It was going to be essentially a job match. Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to job to Brock Lesnar. And so he said, I'm not going to do it. And he left. And that was the infamous Steve took his ball and went home promo that Vince cut the next night.
Yeah.
And so he was gone for a while, came back, had a very short run, and then WrestleMania 19 was his last match. And that's when and he didn't tell anybody that it was his last match except for Vince and his opponent, which was The Rock. And this was the third WrestleMania match between Stone Cold and The Rock. Stone Cold had won the first two. He wanted The Rock to win this. And so they had a fantastic match. And while Stone Cold is lying on the mat after the match is over, The Rock bends down and tells him that he loves him. And Stone Cold laughs and said, I love you too. Two of the biggest, manliest wrestlers saying, I love you. I love you. But I mean, he's talked about how he left the business and he moped for a long time. Moped for a couple of years, I think 3 years about it. And then decided, you know what, I better capitalize on this brand before people forget who I am. Went to Hollywood, did a couple B movies. Not all that great.
There was one where he played a janitor that taught a kid to box. I remember starting to watch this film.
Did a few TV show spots as well. But then he found his niche with with hosting. So he hosts like reality competition shows and podcasts, and he says he loves it. It keeps him in the business. He doesn't have the itch to go back and wrestle anymore. So sorry, you're not going to see him in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't matter how much they're going to pay him. He's not going to come back for that match.
I love America.
So I mean, yeah, that's the hard part about most wrestlers, and we did the same thing with Macho Man. Is that the fame does come with a price, because it's hard to balance both a family life and being a top star in a wrestling business, especially when you're gone so much.
Yeah, yeah.
But the one thing that is true is that without him, I don't think WWE would have won the Monday Night Wars. Just like you said, there's a whole domino effect. Without Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm not sure the Attitude Era comes to be. And
I don't even think wrestling becomes as big.
Yeah.
Like the longevity of wrestling without the Attitude Era and without Stone Cold is nil.
He brought it into the mainstream. Like as soon as he started getting popular, he was on Regis and Philbin. He was on SNL. He was on everything.
Regis and Philbin?
Regis and Philbin.
Regis and Philbin? Regis and
Kathy
Philbin.
Lee. Sorry, Regis and Kathy Lee. He was on Celebrity Deathmatch. You know, he was on all these different things that stretched out well beyond wrestling. To, you know, it was at the point where you say WWE, the only thing that anyone says is Hulk Hogan. Because that's the only person anybody knew before that wasn't a wrestling fan. And that's only because he branched out into so many other things that weren't wrestling. Stone Cold didn't do that yet.
Yeah.
It was just his commanding chemistry with the business and with, you know, mainstream America that made him a big deal. So
I miss Celebrity Deathmatch. That show was awesome.
So he does say he is the same guy now, just without all the pressure.
That's good.
That's the best version of Stone Cold.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, what's left to say? I mean, where do you go from there?
I mean,
you know, where do you go from?
I can tell you what I hated about him.
Do tell.
It's brief, just 3 things.
Okay.
I hated his run as heel Stone Cold. There were a few funny moments with Kurt Angle, but
they were mostly because of Kurt Angle.
It was mostly because of Kurt Angle. He was the laughs, and Stone Cold became the dry.
Yeah, when Stone Cold kind of became like the lapdog
man. That was weird. The invasion storyline where he turns on the WWF and joins the WCW team. Why would he? The WCW fired him. Why would he join that team? Dumb. And the What Chance, which I already mentioned. What Chance, worst thing. And I think, and I hope and I pray that they're over, because I haven't heard them since COVID.
Yeah, the COVID went away, and we kind of...
Did the What Chance catch COVID? I hope so.
They didn't make it past coronavirus.
That's the only thing I hope the virus killed.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, this is our last episode of this season. But when we come back next season, it's going to be bigger, better, and badder than anything else. We had some stuff we needed to get out there, and I don't remember what it was.
Next, this coming Sunday is Survivor Series.
That's right. We've got Survivor Series coming up.
We will be streaming that. We'll be live streaming that from John's apartment. Fabulous John's apartment. And then, of course, we'll also have Royal Rumble before we come back. So look for us for both of those. I don't think there is a WWE pay-per-view in December. I'm pretty sure they canceled it.
They killed TLC.
They killed it for at least this year. It's gone. So... So yeah, we're going to watch this Survivor Series, which is weird because it's all about brand loyalty, but they just had a draft like a day ago.
Which is what they keep doing.
Like, who's really all that devoted to the brand, and they just got there.
Not me.
It's going to be weird. I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm hoping that it's good. AEW just had another banger pay-per-view with Full Gear, so they got a lot to try and work up to here. We've got a couple stickers left over. A couple of our You Can't Fake This Meat sticker. So
we love so very, very much.
Frankly, if you get in touch with us at any of our social medias at 2 words, I almost screwed it up, at 2 words LTN, and we still have some left, we will send you one. And there will be another stream, I believe. I think we talked about this. Another stream at some point, a very short stream. Might just be a video. I don't know. We might not stream it. Where we exchange Christmas gifts.
Oh, yeah. We do need to do that.
Because I already had yours.
Okay, we didn't. I'm sorry.
What?
We got another thing we didn't even talk about because it happened 2 weeks ago. During our podcast last week, during our stream, I get home and patting my beautiful baby girl to sleep. And Matt sends me a text that Keith Lee has been fired from the WWE.
And then several other people as well.
Yeah, Karrion Kross.
Mm-hmm. Who just got moved up.
Yeah. They just acquired him and made him change his awesome name. BFAB. They got rid of the Have you seen Hit Row?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I love Hit Row.
Yeah. But BFAB gone.
BFAB's gone.
BFAB be gone.
Sick of it.
Yeah, so Yeah, I knew there was something big we should have talked about during the wrestling news and rumors, and I forgot about that.
Yep. So,
Because it happened immediately.
Yeah.
It happened within 30 minutes. No, it happened while we were recording. And we found out about it within half an hour after we were done.
Until next time.
February.
Till February. My name is John. His name is Matt. And if you're not down with that, we got a season 2 words for you. Can only do that once.
That was your one shot and you took it. Oh man. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. If there's anyone that's new, thank you for that resubscription silver. Anyone that's jumped in late, hit *dibs in the chat if you want to get a sticker. And I'm gonna give you a minute to do that before I run this thing. You got it upside down. There you go. Can't fake this meat. Can't fake this meat. Meat castle. Exclamation point, dibs in the chat. While we're waiting on that, join us tomorrow. Not us, but me, us with Mo.
I'm out.
For our Thanksgiving special. We're going to be recording tomorrow night. It's going to be fun. We're going to be eating these disgusting things: turkey dinner candy corn, 2021 edition, which adds apple pie and coffee. So they're a little bit better. They took out. What did they take out? I took out the carrot one. The carrot, glazed carrots, I think that's what it was. How do you like those? Pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not bad.
All right. They're from China.
China.
Or Japan. I don't know. One of them places. One of them places where their letters are squares with lines on them. Is that inappropriate? Is that making fun of cultures? Yeah, the candy corn's gross. Can I just talk like I'm from Wisconsin for the rest of this here? The rest of this show. All right, so we're going to be doing it tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of fun. Korea, Japan, China, one of them Asian places. Can you say that? Can I say Asian places? They're over there in the Asian area. Don't say Asian area. That sounds offensive. Candy corn is good. You just got to buy the right kind. You got to buy the branches. You got to get the branches candy corn because that's everything else tastes like a foot. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow, along with a lot of other things. We're just going to have a lot of fun. We're not going to do anything super heavy in the show. We're just going to have a lot of fun. We're going to play some games. Some of our buds in the Twitch chat or in the Discord chat, and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna end this giveaway. Close. And we're gonna draw our 4 winners. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. All of you won. So,
Everyone won.
Everybody won one. No, I knew you would. This is just fun. Hitting the dibs is fun. You would all win. So, yeah, you guys all know who I am. Send me your address in the Discord, and I will send you a stick-ow. And probably some other stick-outs.
Put it on the internet. Just put it on the internet for all the strangers.
Anyway, we love you. We will see you on Sunday. Join us probably to be in pain with us all night long, because I don't foresee this being a great pain. But we're going to be there. But we're going to be there. We're going to suffer through it for you.